Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is about series, and I want to suggest you 5 series to watch. They are of different genre, different story type tellings, and also different by ranking, so ranked by me. So yeah. So the first series I want to talk about is Dollface. Dollface is a 2019 18 episode series created by Jordan Wales, and it's a comedy with a scope of craziness and dizziness, I'd say. So why I watched this series in the first place? Because Shay Mitchell is starring there, and like I loved her for many different roles, so I was like, okay, need to check out that series. The series tells us the story of how Julie goes through a long-term relationship breakup and tries to reconnect with the friends she lost touch with while being in the relationships. This series is definitely on the weird side of the scale, with Julie's imagining a cat woman. No, not the one from DC, but this cat woman.
Should she go out?
And to which she actually talks about her problems on a daily basis. Other than that, the show is very true story vibes, telling us how people might get into the relationships with the person who cheats on them, or how is it like to be treated as a stupid pretty girl while actually dreaming to get into a business college, or how it is like to reconnect with friends who you haven't talked to for years. This series is fun, and Kat Dennings actually does her best performing the main lead, being funny, sarcastic, and sometimes even rude or over the top. I also can see how some of the people would love the imaginary cat and others will be like totally annoyed by that. For me personally, I was okay with that, but at some points I was really annoyed, so it was both the plus and the minus of the show. This imaginary cat sometimes would annoy me that much that I would watch a certain episode and I would be like, come on, like what the fuck? Can it already be over? What am I watching even? While other episodes were really enjoyable and the jokes were so fun to watch, overall I'd say that this show is very generic, like normal, even though it has that creative spin to it. Still, I rated just 5 out of 10 as an average show, you know. Not something great, not something bad. It's just an old good comedy. Definitely let me know in the comments if you watched this show and if you actually liked or hate the imaginary cat thing. And for those who are considering watching it, I'd say it's not everyone's cup of tea, but still it's worth checking out. But let's now move on to the next show, which is Insatiable. Insatiable is a 2-season dark comedy drama series released in 2018 and created by Lauren Gassings, which aims to bring up such issues as body positivity, eating disorders, LGBT, and psychological health. Debbie Ryan stars as Patty Bladell, an overweight high school girl that has some psychological issues. She hates her classmates who make fun of her and acts aggressively with people that disrespect her. One time, after a bad day in school, she gets into a fight with the homeless man over a fitness bar? Like, really? During that fight, she is badly injured and gets into hospital. While being in a coma for a few weeks, she loses a lot of weight. Now she is hot and skinny, and obviously nobody recognizes Patty, and she seems to enjoy her new self. Bob Armstrong is another central character within the series. He is a lawyer passionate about pageant shows, so he works part-time as a coach for girls. One of his clients started gossiping that Bob sexually harassed her, and so now he needs to find a girl he can prepare for the state pageant show, as only with the first place in the competition he can get his reputation back. Luckily, Bob comes across Patty. He sees this as an opportunity to win the regionals. The first season covers the story of how Bob is trying to get his reputation back, being a great pageant trainee, a supportive husband, and a caring dad, while Patty tries to get him into bed, simultaneously dealing with the problems of mismatching her inner and outer self. The second season mainly focuses on Patty's eating disorder and following psychological problems. She gets ready for the pageant shows, eats a ton of food, and, you know, just goes crazy. Insatiable is a great show if you like dark humor, insanity, and more importantly, sarcasm. I actually really enjoyed this show because every new episode tells us something new. Like, it's not that typical series where the same message is told over and over again. Actually, every episode brings something new into the plot, so it's very interesting to watch. I also liked the fact that this TV show actually brings up different topics like eating disorders, the LGBT, the body positivity, as well as that it does it with the use of dark jokes and sarcasm. I think it's very cool, and at the same time it's like kinda, you know, questionable, and sometimes you don't know how to feel about that, but overall, like, I love this type of shows. So overall I rate this show 6.5 out of 10, and you will like it if you like shows like Scream Queens. Definitely let me know if you have seen this show, and if yes, if you liked it. The next show I want to talk about is Spinning Out. It's a good old school series about sports. So if you're a fan of cheerleader movies of early 2000s like Bring It On and Fired Up, then that's definitely your jam. Spinning Out is a 2020 10-episode sport drama created by Samantha Stratton. The series tells us a story of Kat Baker, a young figure skater who wants to go to Olympics. Unfortunately, during one of the competitions she fell really badly. Now Kat needs to deal with bipolar syndrome, same as her mother. She cannot perform to her full capacity as now she is afraid to jump and spin on ice. Her mother is disappointed and fully turns her attention on Kat's younger sister, Serena. Justin is another central figure in the series. He is an award-winning couple figure skater. Recently his partner got injured, and so he and his trainee Dasha Fedorova are searching for a new girl to join Justin on ice. Dasha notices Kat's talent and proposes to work in pair with Justin, but Kat seems to hate him. So what will it be next? Will she take an opportunity to skate in Justin, or will she continue to train as a single figure skater? Will she eventually overcome her fear of jumping and spinning on ice, or will she take a different route? Well, you'll see once you hop on the series, but I personally loved it. I always loved sport-related series, movies, and documentaries, so you know, this series was like a throwback in time, but even better. The plot is very interesting to follow, the actors are very satisfying to watch, and the filming is very simple and smooth. It's a nice show to relax. You don't need to think too much. You can just, you know, follow a friendship slash family slash love drama spiced up with some trainings and competition. The series has several layers, telling us the stories basically of all central figures in the show. I rate Spinning Out 7 out of 10, and I can assure you, you will love it if you want to watch something with old school vibes and easy to follow plot. The Boys is a 2-season comedy action superhero series created by Eric Kripke, Evan Goldberg, and Seth Rogen, and released in 2019. The series evolves around the corruption in the modern society that coexists with superheroes that abuse their superpowers. The series has a very powerful beginning. Like, oh my god, the first episode was so good, I was amazed. However, unfortunately, I can't say the same for the rest. I feel like the creators had a great idea, but they didn't manage to deliver it properly. Well, the first episode was so dynamic and juicy, and it was full of actions and dark humor and all of that. The rest of the series feels more long and boring and about the same stuff over and over again. So, you know, I just wish that the first episode, like the techniques that were used there, plot-wise and storytelling-wise, were taken and copy-pasted basically to all other seasons. So I would love to see more of how superheroes abuse their powers and how it actually, you know, influenced the society and stuff like that. Overall, I like this series, but let's jump right into the plot so that you can get what it is about and whether you want to watch it. So there are superheroes in the USA, and the agency WHTAT International manages them, basically sending them to different cities to fight for justice, and ensures that they are aggressively marketed and monetized. WHTAT International creates the Seven, a union of superheroes who catch criminals, save people, and mess up a lot. The seven consist of Homelander, the extremely powerful leader who actually is very arrogant and sadistic, Queen Maeve, who once wanted to protect innocent lives but has become infantile and suffers from a burnout, A-Train, a speedster member of the Seven who is constantly afraid to not be the fastest. The Deep can communicate with aquatic life but constantly made up fun of because of his stupidity. Black Noir, a silent, mysterious hero with superhuman strength. Translucent, obviously can turn himself invisible. And finally, a fresh member, Starlight, a naive girl who is genuine in her efforts to help the public. The main conflict of the show is an opposition of the Seven and Boys, aka the Boys, dudes who want to get superheroes controlled. During the first episode, we get to know Huey Campbell, a regular guy working in an electronic shop who is super insecure. One day when he is walking with his girlfriend Robin, she gets killed by a high-speed collision by the A-Train. Obviously, Huey is demolished, but out of nowhere, Billy Butcher appears and ensures to help him to get revenge for the death of his girlfriend. So this series basically evolves around this conflict between the Boys and the Seven, opening up some dark secrets of superheroes and motivations of dudes that want them to be controlled. Overall, it's a nice show, and if you like stuff like Deadpool, you probably will enjoy this one as well. I rate The Boys 7 out of 10 and recommend it to everyone who is a fan of superhero movies. And finally, I want to talk about AP Bio. This is a hilarious show created by Michael Patrick O'Brien and released in 2018. This series is really fun to watch, at least I enjoyed it. It tells the story of Jack Griffin, who was intelligent enough to become a Harvard philosophy professor but got disgraced and lost his position to his ex-friend Miles. Jack needs to get back to his hometown and work as a biology teacher in White Lock High School. He certainly hates everything about the situation. He hates Miles, he hates his hometown, he hates working at school, and obviously he hates his students. Therefore, Jack makes it clear to his class that he will not be teaching any biology. Instead, he decides to use his students to get revenge on Miles. This series is fun to watch because of the humor, as well as it's somehow enjoyable to watch Jack hating everything and everyone. Something fun to watch on your daily basis, then AP Bio is definitely a great choice. I rate it 7 out of 10 and recommend it to everyone who loves a good old comedy show. Okay, so basically that's the end of the video, and these 5 series were my recommendations on what to watch, and definitely comment down below if you have seen any of them and whether you like them or not. Also, don't hesitate to recommend me some TV shows, series, movies, I don't know, anime to watch and review, either being like one complete season or like one complete movie review or another top 5, 10, I don't know, whatever. I'm more than happy to do that. And subscribe if you want to become a movie/series addict. Again, thank you a lot for watching, and see you in my next one.
All the good girls